What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Prime Performance. As always, Coach Kyle right here. Yo, Graham, we got another story time.
Oh, how convenient. My laundry's right here too.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Graham. Now, today's story time, it's something I've heard common over all the years as a trainer, but within the past 12 months or so, I was asked by a popular trainer here in Toronto to come coach at their studio, to coach a kettlebell class specifically. And as I was talking to this person, I found out that they normally have 20-30 people per class. Yeah, crazy amount of people for one instructor to responsibly coach, in my eyes, as a responsible strength coach. As I was talking to her, this person, as I was talking to her, yeah, this person, I'm not naming any names, but when I was talking to this person, they were getting my thought process and understanding my issues with it, and I prefer to only have 8 people at the most, maybe 10 people per class.
We cap ours off at 8, and even then, so there's sometimes I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, no,
that's a lot of people to coach.
No, exactly.
At least the level of coaching that we want them.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If it was a class of 20 people with our nervous systems, then it's a different story. You could probably go by and say, God, just use your abs a little more, and I'm going to get it, and you can walk past me. But the majority of the people that we coach these days in general population need a lot more cues than just push through your heels or tight abs, guys. They have no clue how to do this. They've lost a lot of these functions, or at least how to create maximal tension in them. Now, the story went on. Oh, that's good coffee. The story went on, and she was saying, or he was saying, that they have technique days on one of the weekends. So don't worry, Kyle. They'll be able to do the stuff during the week, and then the Sunday is technique days. And this couldn't be further from being bullshit in my eyes, where I don't care what you're doing, every single day should be technique day. I don't care how heavy or light it is. Every single day is technique day, even if there is another theme to the day. Your nervous system, the quality of your movement is always the utmost importance, okay? Not just because safety is going to lie there when you're doing loaded exercises, but understanding how to properly produce and transfer force into loads or the sport that you're playing is at the forefront of that nervous system criteria kind of being hit. To me, it's kind of similar with the powerlifting community. Great community, but a lot of people talk about speed days versus non-speed days. And again, there's a little bit of bullshit in my eyes, because even if it's maximal load, even if you can't move the bar off the floor to the empty barbell, through the concentric phase, your nervous system should always be trying to create as much speed as possible. I've never said to somebody that has good technique, okay, go as slow as possible through the concentric phase. The only time I do something like that is when they need to learn the positioning. So it's more of a nervous system thing, which again, a lot of people need to go through more. But nonetheless, once technique's learned, the speed day is every day. It's just, it looks slower because it's heavy.
Now, okay, I know the answer to this already, but I'm sure a few of our viewers are wondering, like, if they have relatively safe and good technique, is it okay for them to practice that perfect technique once a week?
Okay, like I can see how people would think, oh, Kyle, stop being so anal. If I'm relatively safe, that's fine, and then I have one day and I work on super perfect technique. Now, what we need to understand is how the brain learns, first and foremost. It has nothing to do with exercises, moving weights, playing chess, communicating with your spouse, whatever. We need to understand the way the brain learns, and one of the laws that has always stuck with me is something called the law of facilitation. Now, essentially, this law is stating, let's say Graham has a crappy deadlift pattern, and he's in
But I don't! That's pretty shit.
Sure. If he has this crappy deadlift pattern, and that pattern's automatic in his brain, it could take up to 5,000 repetitions of immaculate technique for me to break his old patterns and ingrain those new ones to the point of automation. And when I say automation, essentially he does not have to go through a checklist constantly in his head of what to do to lift this load. His body feels load, and boom, those things go on. Making it a habit. Taking it to the point of automation. And to the inverse, if he does not have a crappy deadlift, or he is not somebody that's learned,
which I do.
Okay, shut up. Let's say he does not have a bad deadlift, or he has not had time to learn a bad deadlift, and I'm teaching him fresh. It could only take up to 300 repetitions to get that movement to the point of automation. So 300 reps versus 5,000 if I'm trying to break, obviously these are theoretical numbers, but 5,000 for me to break the old habit. Now, if you are, for say, let's say example, somebody come to your gym 4 times a week and only one of those days is spent doing perfect technique, you have just spent 3 days, and let's say the person only does 50 reps each 3 of those days, 150 reps that you've done, I don't know why I'm holding 3 up, 150 reps, I think because I multiplied it by 50 in my head, 150 reps that you have done that are working against you. This is 150 more reps that you have to do to break that pattern now, because you've now just further ingrained things that are less than optimal. And the more you allow this to happen, the longer it's going to take for you to have perfect technique. And why things might be so frustrating for a coach or a client is because you're not vigilant enough as a coach to make sure that right from the get-go, they're doing what their brains need to do, what their brains need to learn how to do. So remember that law of facilitation, and every day is technique day.
Fuck, throw the hammer down, son.
All right.
Jeez.
Peace.